All right, friends, back as we continue on here. We've been out at Cafe Texan all day today, and a lot of folks are showing up. We're so thankful to be here. Big shout out to Tiffany Gobble and Troy Vance, all the great folks here at Cafe Texan. If you haven't been over here yet, by the way, you need to come down here and, as my friend would say, get on down here and get the rest of it. And I'm telling you, if you want chicken fried steak here in town, there's a couple of places that have it really good. Well, there's a really good place. It's called the Cafe Texan. And they are serving it up. We're going to be here till 4 o'clock today, and so thankful for all of you. We're helping to raise funds for SAAFE House. And here in just a few moments, I'm going to bring on two guests that have done just a phenomenal job rallying in the troops, rallying in more support for SAAFE House today. We are getting ever closer to that goal of $15,000. By the way, as it stands right now, how about $12,430 for SAAFE House, getting close to that $15,000. And the donations just keep coming in. So we want to say thank you to all of you. Well, hey, we're going to flip the camera here and say hello to a couple of our friends. Some of you joining us on Spirit Radio FM, so you won't be able to see it, but you can hear the audio. These two folks, they just came in not happy, just not happy at all because they got locked up. But they're going to be happy because they have made bail. How about it for Melissa Bochat, Will Durham joining us. Melissa, I'll start with you. Good to see you. How are things going? Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Now we're
start. Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Rob. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah. Melissa is with Entergy Texas, and you guys are doing some incredible. I wanted to first and foremost say thank you for all that you guys do. I know so much going on with storms, and y'all just work your tails off. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. I know it's not an easy business to be in, and you guys have just done incredible work. So thank you for what you do, Melissa.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we've got a lot of crews are out in Florida and Georgia right now, and they were coming off of crew work in Louisiana with Francine, and then we came off a barrel. So our guys have been working hard for several months straight, but they appreciate the support, and we just are so lucky to have such a great community supporting them, so thank you.
Well, Melissa, you have just went guns a-blazing here in Huntsville. You came in, you got started, so active with the Chamber, and you're so involved in helping out and supporting organizations such as SAAFE House here today. Talk a little bit about your involvement and just why it's so important to be here today and to help raise funds for this worthy cause.
Absolutely. As I was sharing with Tammy earlier, I have several family members that have been, I'm going to get all teared up again, but victims of domestic abuse, and they didn't have resources like SAAFE House, and some of them stayed much longer than they really should have, and they came out of some really horrible situations. You know, if you look back even 50 years ago, women didn't have somewhere to go. SAAFE House didn't exist. You could not leave an abusive spouse. You had to sue them before you were able to file a divorce. You couldn't file and just leave and try and get out of it peaceably. And they were a lot of times trapped. They had nowhere to go. They didn't have family. And having personally seen some very close relatives go through that, and understanding that places like SAAFE House are the reason that they were able to leave was just very intimately personal and important to me.
Well, the story is touching, and so many people are here for so many different reasons. We heard from Bill earlier, and he's got a personal connection to it also. But Melissa, we so appreciate you and your heart. How about 22 supporters, $1,405 that you have raised today,
Thank you,
Melissa?
Thank you.
So thank you. Well, we'll switch gears and we'll talk to Mr. Will Durham, our DA here in Walker County. Will, so great to have you. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate everything you do.
Well, you bet. It's been a while since I've had the privilege of sitting down chatting with you. Now, before we talk SAAFE House, there's a pretty big game tomorrow with your alma mater. Can you give us a little heads up about what's happening?
Yeah, I'll be going into that game, and I'll be pretty nervous. It'll be probably the closest game we've had all year, Texas versus Georgia. I expect it to be a shootout, and I think we'll win by 7 in the end.
All right.
That's my prediction.
There's your that's your unofficial bet line there, the Hunts Vegas betting lines.
I'm today. A little above. I think it's a 3.5.
Okay.
But I'm going to say 7.
We'll take the 7.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Will, man, you've been so connected to Huntsville too, sir. You've been so good to so many people, and, you serve in public office. You're working so hard every day. We appreciate you being here first and foremost.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about just, your involvement here in Huntsville before we dig into to SAAFE House. This has been a community that's been special to you for a very long time. You grew up here. In fact, y'all have got a reunion coming up tonight.
Yeah, we do. I moved here in 1969 when my father got a job with Charles Davis in a law firm, and been here ever since. Left for college and came back, and been very fortunate to raise my kids here and my family. And as you know now, it's a great place to grow up and a great place to raise your kids. And I'm so fortunate to have done that. And just been involved in a lot of different things in Huntsville over the years. There's so many good organizations to get involved in. There's never a shortage of things to do.
Well, one of those organizations here today is SAAFE House, and I'll leave it with you, Will, just for a few moments. Your involvement here today, Tammy reached out at Rotary, said, hey, I'm going to need to arrest you, and you said, what is it for? She said, SAAFE House, and you said, sign me up.
Sign me up.
Talk a little bit about just your heart for this organization and how much it means and why people should give and donate to it.
Yeah, it's very important. My job I'm currently in, we prosecute these people every day, the perpetrators, I'll call them, and that's our main focus. But there's a victim in every case, and that victim needs to be taken care of. And I have 2 victim assistance coordinators that work for me, and they do a great job. And the police department, sheriff's office, they have those as well. But we can't do everything. That's more for court and the legal aspects. The SAAFE House takes care of the bare bones necessities that were needed, the counseling services, just the things that you don't expect, and they're very, very important. There's so much domestic and sexual abuse in this town, which I hate to have to say. I wish we didn't have any cases at all, but it takes up a great deal of our time, and most everyone, including myself, has personal stories. It's sad, but when we have a jury trial, people that have some personal connection to domestic or sexual abuse, almost the whole panel raises their hand now, and that's so sad, and I hate it, but our job's to put them away and punish them. And the SAAFE House does a great job taking care of those victims that need that help.
Yeah. Well, Will, I'd mentioned earlier about Melissa. Will, you're coming on strong here. Let me find this real quick. Will's coming on. You said that somebody is coming in with a big donation. So we're waiting on that.
Yes.
There's one that's coming.
Yes.
But, Will, you need $45 more to get out of jail, my friend.
Well, I'll do that myself if I have to.
we got to get this guy back to work, man.
Yeah.
So,
well, we'll blow that away if my friend will come through. He just may have to write a check.
Yeah, he could do that.
I don't know how technologically advanced he is to do it online.
No, we appreciate it. Will's getting close to $500.
Absolutely.
You know what, friends? It doesn't matter if it's $5 or $5,000. Every penny goes along. We just had a very kind gentleman come by and just give 5 $1 bills a while ago, and we so appreciate that. Tammy and the folks at SAAFE House, all of that's going to go a very far way. They can't run everything on grants alone. They depend on support for the community, and that's what Will and Melissa are here supporting today. I want to go back to Melissa for just a few moments. Unlike Will, I know you haven't been here since I don't even think none of us were even born. Will lied to us.
I think you must have been fibbing on your ears.
Let me say something. Huntsville, the one thing that I don't like about Huntsville is people lie about their age here. Wilson here, 1960. That's not true. Will is actually going on 28 years old. People lie about their age here in our community.
Yes.
But Melissa, you've been here for a little while. Talk about just your journey here and how you got connected to Huntsville.
Sure. So I've been with Entergy for about 16 years. And I was previously in a role where I kind of covered all 27 counties that we serve. We have about 500,000 customers in Texas that we take care of. And I got to work a little bit with Sam Houston State University and the city on some economic development programs when I was in that role. And then, jobs change, roles change. I went into some other roles, and then an opportunity opened up to be able to be the customer service manager in this territory. And I was just really excited. I'm from a rural town myself. I'm from Navasota. I've got family that are from small farming communities. And I love the idea of just kind of getting back to rural roots. And I've really just felt very blessed coming to Huntsville. This community has welcomed me with open arms and just been so gracious. And like I said, we've seen it through things like Barrel. Just the community comes together and they take care of each other, and it's been just a blessing to kind of be welcomed into the fold.
Well, it's a time right now, Huntsville, for us to come together even more. And I know, as I've said on all of these segments here today, that it is hard. It's hard for a lot of families right now with the inflation costs and so much else going on. I know that it's hard, but if you can find it, hey, even a couple of dollars is going to go a long way. So we just ask you to look and see. And if you can, that's great. If you can't, you can give by your time. And one of the easiest ways you can always give is just sharing things on social media to help get the word out. Many folks have given today just off of what they've seen on social media, and we appreciate that so much. Folks here at Cafe Texan, while they were eating, said, what are y'all doing? And we've had some money come in, probably around $600 or so just from being here at Cafe Texan today. And so we appreciate all of the support. Will, I did want to ask you one more question. You know, Huntsville just continues to grow. What are some of the things that's really excited you about this community, particularly in the growth and how it is supporting these organizations such as Safe House?
Yeah, there's just more people that can donate to the different organizations. There's more stuff to do in town. I can remember when we had to drive to Conroe to go to Academy, and everyone did, and you'd run into everybody in Huntsville in the Conroe Academy. And it's just nice that we keep those dollars here now, and the tax rolls are going up, and it just gives us the ability to do so much more and to make the town better and better.
I think a lot. When I was a child, we had a chain of department stores based out of San Antonio called Wynn's Department Store, and we did not have a Walmart in Georgetown. We had a very tiny H-E-B, and so we would get in our car, and the big thing to do on the weekend was drive to the big city of Round Rock and go to the new Super Walmart.
Oh, wow.
You know, how times have changed, right?
Well, I was here when the Walmart came into town.
That was a big deal, right?
Yeah, it was a big deal, but it was also devastating to a lot of small business, and a lot of them shut down. And they had to go through an adjustment period, and I've seen them come back now. And there are times when you need to go to Walmart, but there's more times where you need to support the local business, which we always try to do. It's just better to start there. If you can't find it there, then you may have to go to the big stores.
Spend a couple extra dollars, support local. It's so good. And such as our friends here at Cafe Texan, who are a nonprofit, by the way, every dime that they raise over their operating costs goes back once a month to different charities throughout the area. So it's very important. Well, Will, I just want to say thank you for all that you do, for your service to our county. You're in a tough position, my friend, but you take care of business, and we so appreciate that. And thank you for all that you do and all that you're going to continue to do here in Huntsville.
I do appreciate it. It is a hard job. I'm not going to lie, but I embrace it, and I want to do good things every day to help out everyone in this town.
Yes, sir. Well, God bless you, my friend.
Thank you.
I want to end, we save the best for last, so ladies first and last on this episode. Melissa, you've been involved. I know I asked you earlier about why is it so important to give back to organizations such as Safe House, but maybe expand a little bit more on your involvement. You're also with the Chamber Board, I believe. So why are those things important too? We've got a chamber it's going through a reset period, and that happens in organizations. You have people come in and transition out. But just what's that journey been like, and some of the positive things that you've seen through local organizations like the Chamber, and how you continue to serve?
Well, I think just overall, just to me, community is very important. And, some people have been in a community since they were wee little things, like Mr. Durham over
28
here.
Years now, 28 years ago.
28 whole years. Other people moved to a community. And I think the more you get involved in your community, the more you become a part of it. And so I always tell everybody, time, treasure, talent, find
like
something
that.
to give. If you don't have the dollars to give, find a way to give your time. If it's limited time, maybe you have a treasure or a skill that you can share with other people. And I think the more that we invest in our community, the more we get out of it. And so wherever I go, I've always just wanted to be a part of the community. I am a huge supporter of Chamber of Commerce's because, as Mr. Durham said, we've had small businesses are kind of the lifeblood of our communities. And our chambers really help take care of them. They're almost like a business retention for your community. They're going to help care for the small businesses, support them, help them have a voice. And I just think it's just so important to be a part of your community. And I got to say, I feel very blessed with my employer. Entergy has always been so gracious in supporting its employees when, whether it comes to giving us, we get paid time off to be able to go volunteer at nonprofits of our choice. We had a lot of support with our grant program. We gave out several $1 million last year in grants throughout our community. And so I have an employer that really encourages its employees to go out and give their time, treasure, and talents to different nonprofits and organizations throughout the community. And it's just, like I said, I think when you're a part of your community, you're more vested in it. And, Will and I were talking earlier, you don't know what someone's going through. You don't know if their spouse lost their job. You don't know if they have a parent who's on hospice. You don't ever know. And it's so hard to ask for help. and you have so many organizations that are out there. So sometimes it's just even sharing the organization, sharing their mission. You never know who's going to hear it, and maybe they really need to hear today that there's an organization that could help out with something that they're going through. And so the more you know your community, the more you know your resources, the more you can connect others. I think it's just having like kind of servant leadership and a way to give back.
Yeah, that's good. You know, Will and I are Rotarian. Service above self is what it's all about, and so many in this community carry that with them very seriously. We love Huntsville. We love the opportunity today for you to come out and support Safe House. Hey, we've still got a few hours to go. You can come out here. You can make those donations online. Simply just go to the website. Very easy. It's givebutter.com/gel and I laugh every time I say
What's the butter about?
I have no idea, man. It just sounds good. It just sounds like good Huntsville to me, you know? It's like, why give a cup of sugar when you can give someone some butter? Yeah.
Butter's good on everything.
Yeah, so givebutter.com/gel and the letter N, Bell. That's givebutter.com/gel and Bell. Once again, Melissa here with us as well as Will Durham. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank y'all for all that you do, and may God continue to bless y'all very richly for just all that you do. We just love y'all and appreciate y'all very much.
Thank you, Rob.
Very much.
All right, we'll be back in an hour. Stay with us. More happening here. It is Gel and Bell. Billy Coffin, by the way, said bail and gel. He said he'd rather bail before he goes to jail. So Gel and Bell going on today. And again, we are getting close to that $15,000 mark. How about $12,680 for Safe House so far? And we are getting very, very close. 125 supporters making this a very successful afternoon. We'll get back to more music on Spirit Radio FM, and we'll be back here live from Cafe Texan in the next hour or so. Thank you for being a part of it here today, and stay with us as we've got more coming up.